Sean, what is the hashtag 365MFR stand for? Sean, what is the 365 motherfucker mean? Why are you guys talking about that? What is this coaching program you've created? So I get a lot of questions about my posts, about the transformations of the men that I'm working with. So I wanted to talk about that today. Also, you can see I got some books behind me. So I'm going to an event in Dallas on the 21st. If anybody's out in that area, come check it out. It's going to be awesome. DM me below if you're in that area and you want to come check it out. I'll give you details. It's a speaking engagement. It's a Q&A, a panel that I'll be on, talking about personal development, my time in prison, how I overcame that experience, and what I'm doing in my life now. And that brings me to the point that I want to discuss today. That's the question that's eluded me or ailed me for many years up until this point. Not many years, actually, since I got out of prison. Going through that transformative experience, going through that mental, that psychological, that spiritual transformation in a prison cell changed the way I've seen the world forever. It changed everything about me, man. And not everything, it just helped me to get to the center of what really matters in life and who I am at the core. I felt like when I sat in that cell, the answers of the universe, all the wisdom, everything that I had been searching for my entire life was bestowed upon me through these, intuitions, through this insight, through this awareness, through this feeling that I was able to tap into, through this energy. And my mission ever since has been able to continue cultivating that energy and sharing that energy, sharing these answers with anybody and everybody that I come into contact with, literally the entire world. I want to share this information with the world. And that's what led me to start coaching when I came home, and now speaking and, growing this new brand that I've started, Unstoppable #365MFR. What that stands for is literally showing up every day in your life as the person that you're meant to be. Not some days, not when it's convenient, not when you feel like it. Every day, 365 days a year. And we'll get into that in a second. But the question always would surface: how can I get my clients or people that I talk to feel the way I feel? How can I get them to go through the perspective and the internal shift that I went through so that these ailments that plague them, a mediocre life, excuses, the bitch voice, like I'll do it tomorrow, all this stuff that people are doing that lead to them not feeling the way they want to feel. Like, it was just killing me because I wanted to see people full of love, full of confidence, full of joy, living a purpose-driven life. But even the men I was coaching, not all of them would make the shift. And a lot of people regress and revert back to old ways, and they stay stuck, they stay stagnant. They go yo-yoing through their life, basically, with their diet, with their mindset, with their results. They have success, then they drop back down. They have success, then they drop back down. So I kept asking myself, how can I get people to go through a permanent shift like I've gone through so that they can live the rest of their life as that person they want to be, dedicated to that man, living that life, not going back to their old ways. And it dawned upon me recently that the number one thing that I've been able to create within my life through my experience that has served me, that I have every day, everywhere, no matter where I go, is my daily routines and discipline. This is the number one thing that the men that I'm coaching right now come to me lacking. All these men have very similar things in common. They want to be better husbands. They want to, earn more money. Physically, they want to be in better shape. They want to be living that purpose-driven life. Like, these men just lost that spark for life, that love for life, maybe that they once had. And it all comes back to that identity too. A lot of these individuals feel like they just have lost themselves somewhere along the way, chasing money, chasing success, trying to provide, getting pulled in every which direction, and they always lose sight of themselves. So the number one thing that they are lacking, two things really, but it stems from not having discipline, not doing the things they say they need to do. I hear this all the time. Sean, I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it. And it's a ridiculous response because you really don't know what you need to do. If you're saying, I need to do X, Y, and Z, it'll make my life way better, but I'm not doing it. You don't know. Stop saying that because you don't know. Otherwise, you'd be doing it. There's something here and here that's missing that's leading you to skip days, be inconsistent, give in to your excuses, and literally let your life pass you by, settling for a person and a life that is below what you really want. Like, that's crazy. You get one life, but you're not living that way. And so I'm so passionate about my coaching and I want to serve you all at the highest level. And I realized that number one, I need to hold all of you and the men that I coach to the highest of standards. Like I hold myself to the highest standard. How could I not do that for you? How can I not hold you to the standard that you need to be at day in and day out to take control of your life and transform your results? That's number one. Number two is I can't like baby you. I got to tell you the truth and talk to you the way I talk to myself. I get savage in my mind to get my work done every day. I get up at 3:15. You don't think I'm tired? I work out twice a day. Don't you think that my body aches sometimes? I have 3 children. Don't you think my patience runs thin? I got countless coaching clients that I serve daily. Like I found a way to keep that spark ignited and that inspiration overpowering every little ailment and excuse in my life to literally become a man that shows up and execute 365 days a year, non-negotiable. Like I'm not just somebody that does it when I feel like it. That's a conditional man. He shows up to the gym when he has energy and he's feeling positive that day. He's motivated. But on the days that he's sick or tired, he hits snooze and he just breaks that promise to himself and he says, okay, today I'm not going to show up as the man that I'm telling you I want to be. Today, I'm just going to take it easy. I'm going to let this day pass me by, not living as the man that I want to be. And when that conditional man breaks a promise to himself, he doesn't realize what it's doing internally, okay? When you break a promise to yourself consistently, what message are you sending to your subconscious about you and your life? I don't want it bad enough. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. All these negative repercussions take place, and it puts you in an internal state of regret. And when you're in that internal state of regret, it's one of the lowest frequencies of vibrations you can function at. Why do you think you start craving those chips, that soda, that alcohol, the ice cream later on in the day? Why are you now looking at porn later that night, right? Why are you doing all these things, these cravings, these symptoms to try to numb out that feeling, that lacking, that void that is literally growing and growing and growing every time you deviate from the person you want to be? Every time you break a promise to yourself, you're creating an internal state of regret that lowers your frequency, lowers your vibration. Now you have symptoms that are cravings. Now you're irritable around your family. Now you're just not happy and feeling the way you want to feel. That's what it all comes down to. You're not feeling the way you want to feel, so you're looking for external things to try to fill that void. That's it. And so I was seeing this happen to so many individuals where they had 5 days of progress, then the weekend would come and they'd drink, or the weekend would come and they'd sleep in and eat some crappy food. And what would happen, it would kill their momentum. It would kill their momentum because literally they were building momentum. They were sending their subconscious these positive messages of, I want it, I'm taking action, I'm going to do it. And then all of a sudden the weekend comes or a holiday comes or a birthday and a celebration and they sabotage themselves. So I realized that most men in this life who want to be great, they need to be held to the highest standard and they need massive amounts of accountability. And we need to set the bar so high that you either are going to rise to that occasion and become someone you're so damn proud of, like someone that you love so much for being so consistent and so relentless in building yourself up that you will never stop, that feeling overpowers any moment of instant pleasure, any drink, any little vice that you're using to try to find that pleasure or fill that void. Like you'll never want that again because you're going to tap in to an energy, a state of mind, and a feeling within that is life-changing. And this is what happens when you consistently elevate your vibration, your frequency, your internal state through keeping promises to yourself and showing up and taking action. What I teach my men is very simple and straightforward. So many coaches and people out there are overcomplicating it. I was just at an event in New York last week and someone was talking about, abundance, my affirmations. And here's the truth. That stuff is crap. It doesn't work unless you're taking action. And guess what? It's the action that produces the result. Not how many times you said abundance. It's not going to do anything. Now your self-talk and using visualization and, setting the tone for the day with the right type of mental intentions is key. And I do that every day and I teach you that. But if you're not taking the action, you're literally sitting in a state of internal guilt and shame as to who you are, and you're trying to convince yourself of something that's not true. You cannot talk yourself out of these problems, people. You have to act your way into the solution. That's the only way that you're going to start to see the changes in your life, and that's the only way you're actually going to believe it. Like, you know the truth. Your subconscious is keeping score. Your subconscious has a history of every decision you've made since the moment that you were consciously aware of who you were becoming, right? Your subconscious, your internal state knows the truth. So if you're not showing up in life the way that you want to be, aligned with the person that you know you want to become, you're going to feel the effects. You're going to have symptoms. Your body language is going to be poor. You're not going to have inspiration. You're going to be able to, walk into a room and people will feel it. I talk about that all the time. And not just that, but you show up in life as an inferior version of who you're meant to be. Irritable around your wife and kids, not having the relationships, the intimacy with your wife, not being vibrant and fun and full of life as you should be, not looking in the mirror and saying, damn, I love that guy. Not just because of the way he looks, but all the work that he put in, all the sacrifice, all the moments he had doubt and fear, and he showed up anyways because he had this vision that was so grand and this purpose in his heart that was so powerful that he couldn't quit, man. And if you become that guy through daily repetition, through daily action, everything that you ever want in life, the feeling, the fulfillment, the love, the results will start to materialize because you have elevated yourself. And when you show up in the world as this elevated version of who you could be, the world responds differently to you. I promise you that. I'm living proof. Drug addict, broken home, prisoner, inmate, right? Now my life is much differently because I've changed internally first. And it took years and years and years to get to this point. So if you're somebody that wants a quick fix, if you're somebody that wants to change your life now, it's not going to happen. You're going to get results and then regress, get results and then regress because you're doing it the wrong way. You need to make a determination right now about who you want to be for the rest of your life. Like the person I am right now, I will continue to grow and evolve, but I'm showing up every day, 365 every year until the day I die. I'm not going to take a day off from being the man that makes me feel good about who I am. I'm not going to take a day off from being the man and taking the actions that shows up as his best self for his wife and kids. I'm not going to take a day off taking the actions that help me to show up and serve these individuals in this world right now who are struggling, who need this message, who need a leader, and who need to be held to this standard. The problem is society has conditioned you to be soft, and there's no challenges that help you or prompt you to tap into this strength and this resolve and this ability that you have within. So you have all of these men going throughout their life never really knowing what they're capable of. You're not thrust into battle. You're not in World War II. You're not having to grow your own crops and survive the winter like in times past just to feed your family. You're not required to be great. So what's happening? Everyone's settling to be average, mediocre at best. And everyone thinks that it's okay because there's millions of other people doing it. And we see it on the TV, we read it in books and magazines, we see it on the news, and it's complete bullshit. And I want to change the standard of what a man and a leader is in this world. And it's not about showing up with just intensity everywhere you go and fighting and yelling at people. That's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. It's about taking the daily actions to show up at a high level, your mental state, your emotional state, your physical state, everything that you're doing. Why are you not top-notch at your best? Like, how can you go through your life not wanting to be your best self, right? And be an example for your children and be the leader that your family deserves and be an example to other men and be the leader at your work or for your team. Like, don't you want to be the best? I know you do. It's something that's ingrained in all of us to excel, to exceed, to push, to evolve, to grow. But too many people start feeling bad about their current predicament and they say, hey, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should just keep doing what I'm doing. Oh, it's kind of nice here in my comfort zone. I don't want to get uncomfortable. I don't want to change. It's scary. But what is really happening is you have a track record of not showing up in your life. So your subconscious is making these excuses, but really it comes down to I don't believe in myself or I don't believe it's possible. The way that we change that is through the 365 principles that I've created. I literally make my guys get up very early every day, 7 days a week. Some people think that's crazy. Some people say, hey, why can't I sleep in one day on the weekend? Some people say, hey, how's that going to really impact my life or help me? Look, you getting up early when it's dark out. I get up at 3:15. What message are you sending to yourself and to the world about how much you care about your life? Your subconscious is receiving a message every day that you get up and you don't hit snooze. And you're telling yourself, my life's that important. I'm going to get up and sacrifice sleep right now because I have shit to do, right? I have goals. I have a vision. I have something so important to do that I'm not going to sleep on my dreams and the person I could be. And you're literally reinforcing all the good, all that self-worth, all the positive thoughts that you need in your life. Like that's the first win that you need to accomplish each and every day to actually believe that self-talk. Otherwise, you're not going to believe it. So that is so powerful because getting up when you're tired, it's very difficult. And if you can win that moment, it literally is like a domino effect that sends you at an advantage to the rest of your day. The second thing you need to be doing is a workout every day that's challenging. Being uncomfortable is necessary in order for you to grow. Literally, your brain chemistry on a cellular level is going to change based on you being uncomfortable, because that requires you to adapt. And there's no adaptation without you getting out of your comfort zone. So we push through hard workouts every day because that's a difficult task. And doing these things and having discipline is an act of self-love. What you're saying is, I'm willing to sacrifice sleep and being comfortable to create somebody that I'm truly proud of. When you push yourself through these difficult endeavors, you have no choice but to be the way you see the world. So the next thing that I teach my men is how to discipline themselves with their nutrition. These are the three basic pillars that I start them out with: early wake-up time, nutrition, and fitness. Now, the nutrition is very important because food is the most widely abused substance on earth right now. I'll say that again. It's not alcohol, it's not tobacco, maybe your damn cell phone, but food is the most widely abused substance on this earth. People turn to food for comfort when they're stressed, when they're emotional, and no wonder most adults are obese and overweight. And now what kind of example are you for your children, right? You can't manage your own emotional state, so you're gonna show your child that it's okay to be fat and overweight. Then they're gonna go to school and get bullied. Then those kids end up committing suicide, becoming drug addicts, living inferior lives. It's a pattern that we need to break. And if you truly care about your family, your community, and the people in your life, you are the example, and you have to set the standard. And it really makes me sick to see parents neglect themselves so much to the point that they're going to be that example for their children and set them up to be at a disadvantage in life. That's a whole nother topic and video I'll be putting out. But right now I want to continue on this trajectory. So if you can master an early wake-up time, daily workouts, and your nutrition, then guess what happens? You start to build belief in yourself. You start to look at other areas of your life and you think, well, damn, I'm getting up early every day. Like, I'm crushing these workouts. I'm fueling my body with nutritious food. Look at me. I'm losing weight. I look like a fucking warrior, a gladiator, not some pudgy, soft motherfucker. Like, what else can I do in life? Maybe I should leave this 9-to-5 I hate. Maybe I should go start that job, that career, that new business that I've been wanting to start forever. Maybe I could pull the trigger on that and start, researching these topics every day, spending an hour in the morning before I work out, reading and doing my due diligence. Like, your mind starts to expand and the possibilities start to emerge. You start to change the way you perceive yourself and you start to see the world differently. You're going to start looking at your relationships with your wife or your children, or maybe you don't have a relationship. You're going to have more confidence to go out and ask that pretty woman to dinner, that girl, that man, that woman, whoever it is. Like, you're going to show up in the world differently. I promise you that. Then at that point, you literally can aim and hit any target you want. Once you instill that confidence and belief in yourself and who you are and how you show up in the world, nothing will stop you. You will be unstoppable because you are now a 365 motherfucker that's dedicated his life to being that man every day. Not a conditional half-assed man who does it when he feels like it, and then he puts himself in this internal state of regret, and then he takes out his irritability at himself, his anger at himself with his wife and kids. I see it all the time. Guys are irritable. Why? Because you're not being the man that you want to be. Your heart's calling you to go this way. You keep going that way. Snooze, skipping the gym, eating like crap, drinking, doing drugs, looking at porn. You're doing it to yourself. Your higher self is calling you to be this man, but you're ignoring the call. No wonder you're so irritable. No wonder you're grumpy. No wonder you're on the verge of getting divorced. No wonder you're not happy when you look in the mirror, man. These are all symptoms and ailments that you have control to fix. But it'll never happen until you make this commitment on the deepest level to be the man in your heart that you're being called to become. When you're ready to stand and answer the call, I'm here to support you. My men in my program are changing their life with these principles, with this blueprint, with this structure, and with the leadership that they get on a day-to-day basis. We have a community. We set the standard high, and I'm going to lead the motherfucking charge because I love you and I care about you. I care about your kids. I care about your family. This is way bigger than me. I tell you all the time. This has such a massive ripple effect. This is about my kids' kids. This is about our community and the future of this world and our society. And I take it that seriously because I know what it's like to think my life was over and to look back on just wasted years and misery and regret and shame and guilt. And I don't want that to happen to you. Your life is special. You deserve to live with fulfillment and purpose every day. And within you is that ability. We just got to unlock it and then share that energy with the world. DM me Unstoppable right now if you're a man ready to answer the call. Let's take action. Let's make that positive impact and let's do it together.
There's so much more for you to tap into. You have so much more to give. You have so much strength. You have more resolve, more resiliency. You are made for more. Can't you see it? I know you feel it. I know when you go to bed at night, you question and wonder, is there more for me? Can I achieve more? Why am I holding back? This is the chance right now to let go of your limitations, to believe in the person you want to be, not the one you settled for. Click the link and join my program. I promise I'll walk with you side by side and show you the way. Let's take action right now to be the man that you want to be. No more excuses. This is for you and your family right now. Let's go. There's so much